left, and that train keeps carrying on, but the truth's still stuck in the pond. Oh, is this a prison in my mind? Oh, or does a prison just need light? I've been circling, circling, circling. I've been circling, circling, circling. Old folk steel trail, getting tired of picking up stones. Dirt in these nails, now I'm back on the side of the road. 'Cause it's all I've ever known. Outgrown my winter clothes. Is the pain the thorn of the rose? Can you change the color of bones? Oh, is this a prison in my mind? Oh, or does a prison just need light? I've been circling, circling, circling. I've been circling, circling, circling. Don't need being so headstrong. You've been robbing yourself for too long. Put the past down. Put the past down. Don't need being so headstrong. You've been robbing yourself for too long. Put the past down. Let it rest now.
All right, you are tuned in to WYXR 91.7 FM, Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm Liv Cohen, but more importantly, I'm very, very stoked to have Rovîa here with me today. How you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, Liv. I'm doing well. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Good. So for people tuning in who may not know who you are yet, who is Rovîa? What's your story?
Yeah. My name is Monrovia. I'm just a storyteller, songwriter, kind of just telling stories of the time in the past and trying to carry the hard truths and trying to present them in the softest way possible for people to be able to relate to them. So those are kind of the things that I talk about in my music. And yeah, really appreciate the time given to have this interview with you all. So appreciate it.
So tell me more about your sound and how you kind of landed in that sweet spot of folky kind of music.
Yeah, it was a long journey to get here to kind of finalizing the sound of what I am now. I dabbled in a lot of different genres, hip hop and, some rap back in I would say like 2000, 18 and stuff. I was kind of just trying to find my way. I didn't land on this until 2022, going into 23. And folk music and singer-songwriter was something I was always very interested in as a kid, but being black and in the American scene, I thought one of the quickest ways for me to get into, I think, into the public eye was kind of just the path of rap and trying to see if that would open any doors for me. And it never really did, and so I went back to things I loved. I was like, whatever, if things take place, so be it. But I'm just gonna try to be my true self. And I ended up having a ukulele that my parents gave me and started to write songs with deeper meanings and kind of just becoming an open journal for myself to reflect and look at the root of many of the things I had ran away from most of my life.
Mhm.
And in sharing these stories and navigating, uh, my love for, uh, I think folk music, I ended up just the honesty started to really bring people to me, and we started to kind of build a following that way. So yeah, I'm very thankful that for everything that has taken place till then. But yeah, folk music's always been a first love of mine. So
Yeah, you talked about building that following. It seems like it happened very, very quick. Like you popped up on my TikTok feed a year ago, and now you're opening
Wow.
for Alabama Shakes and like have millions of streams. So how's that experience been for you?
Yeah, it's kind of been a lot, to be honest. I'm a pretty quiet guy, and I enjoy living. That's kind of why I live in Chattanooga. I've never left, and I don't think I will. But um, yeah, I think if I had it my way, I would probably prefer not to be seen too much and everything. But I think coming from a place of thankfulness, I'm always very appreciative of how everything's gone and the team that I have and the bandmates that are around me. But it's definitely been kind of blur. I really just am trying to remember it all and take it in step by step, uh, and stay me through the process. I think that's kind of the hardest piece. Maybe probably from, I think for most artists, most likely if things are starting to grow and you start to separate yourself from, it's easy to separate yourself from, like just the people that you once knew, or just because, you're kind of in a space of traveling a lot, playing in front of a lot of people, and it can be a lot to come back home and feel normal after all of that often. So navigating that is very important for me, to
Totally.
stay that.
Um,
Hmm.
I'm trying not to continue to talk about TikTok, but I feel like it was pretty pivotal for you.
Oh,
Were you the one
yeah.
uploading your videos from the start?
Yeah, it
Or
was me and Eric. Eric was my
wow.
first man. Oh, well, he was the first one. It was just him and I from the beginning, 22. Well, even still now, it's him and I kind of doing digitals and stuff. So yeah, it was always us kind of getting the video shot, uploading them to TikTok, and I was doing a lot of lives back then. I would say that was a big driver. Is I was on almost every day of every week, um, playing in the mornings. Like I set a time, 9 a.m. till 10:30, and it became a routine, and people would know that's when it started, and so that's how people started in the mornings of their before they went to work. They'd have it on if they're making coffee, they're eating breakfast, whatever. It just became a background to other people's lives, really,
Wow.
something peaceful, soothing into the experience, and that's how the following started to grow. TikTok was a massive catalyst
Mhm.
for that. So
That's
very, and I
super
still go, and
cool.
it's cool. I just was on it before I came and talked to you. Whenever I have time these days, I still go on and be with the people that first found me, because I know people's names, and uh, there's always more people to be found. So it's still something that I try to fit in my weeks if I can, just to show that I'm not one, to remind myself of where it began, and that these things are still super important regardless of how big you get. Like, it's important to stay close to the people that were there from the beginning and not separate yourself from that ever. And so it's a beautiful thing.
It
Yeah.
really is. It really is. Um, one of, if not your biggest hits thus far, which I hear all the time on the internet, on like all platforms. And we play it as well, and we'll hear it in just a few minutes. But Heavyfoot, tell me more about that song.
Yeah, Heavy Foot. I remember I wrote the chorus in my room here in Chattanooga, just the love me now, hold me down. And it was going to be a joyous kind of song about being together. And it was right before the week I was going to go to Topanga and write some songs with my close friends, Grant Averill, Cooper Holtzman, the producer, Eric Cromarty was there as well. And it was just the chorus that I had. So I took it up there to Topanga with the boys. And as we started to discuss, we felt that we needed to also touch on some of the things that were going on, in America, and bring that back to the importance of being together, the importance of how your life does matter, but it cannot move on, and it's no more important than the next person that's beside you, and living together and learning how to and learning who is really against you in these things is super important as well. And so the song just kind of became a joyous anthem of remembering that everybody's in this together. And joy is an important part of resistance. You can go through, in sadness a lot of the time, and doubt and fear. And those things can only take you so far. But if you have moments of joy and experiences of feeling that you may come over the hill, I think that's an important piece to always call back. And so that song became kind of a joyous anthem.
Absolutely. Well, let's hear Heavyfoot right here on WYXR 91.7 FM at Memphis. And we are with Monrovia, and we will be back in just a minute.
Do you hear the sound of a bell? Did you wish your family well? Times ain't the same in the neighborhood. Got the parents all going through hell, 'cause the guns keep flying off the shelf. Do you see the man on the street just fighting for a meal to eat? You can write him off as a lunatic, but it could have been you or me if we didn't ever find our feet. Love me now, hold me down, and the government is staying on our heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they're never gonna keep us all down. Do you see the birds in the cage on the highway working like slaves? It's a con, it's a ruse, it's a gaslight. Ain't it funny how far we came for them to go and change the name? Do you see the man on the screen? Just a puppet, but you never see the strings. Calling it a war, not a genocide. Telling us it isn't what it seems. Man, that's a different kind of greed. Love me now, hold me down, and the government is staying on our heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. Love me now, hold me down, and the government is staying on our heavy foot, and they try to keep us all down. No, they're never gonna keep us all down. No, they're never gonna keep us all down.
All right, you are tuned in to WYXR 91.7 FM Memphis. I am Liv Cohen. I'm here with Monrovia, who will be opening up for Alabama Shakes next week at Grind City Amphitheater in Memphis, Tennessee. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you
Nice.
again for
Thank
having me
you
on.
again. We talked a bit about we touched base a little bit on your upbringing, and growing up in America and trying to find your sound. You've talked a lot about it in other interviews, but I'd love for you to explain more about your childhood and your parents and your family and how that has influenced your sound today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So I grew up, well, I didn't grow up, but I was born in Liberia, West Africa. I spent some time there. And if you don't know about Liberia, it had 10 years of civil war. And a lot of the country ended up being, ravaged and destroyed in the process. And I lost my mother and father during the Civil War, and I have some siblings that live there still, but I didn't connect with them for many years down the road. But I ended up being adopted by a missionary family that lived in Liberia during this time. Beautiful family, and they took me in, and over time I became adopted and came to America that way. And growing up, moved a lot of different places, a very kind of religious household, and I was listening to a lot of church music. My friends make fun of me a lot now because I didn't really know a lot of popular music or anything like that. It was pretty insular. But that shaped my sound. I think being in the church scene, I learned and watched and saw a lot of the power of music, and it's not a unknown thing to see how, religious organizations use music as a very powerful tool. And I think watching that, I understood what it could do to not only myself, but to people as well, and the honesty of it and the feelings that it can convey and bring forth. But it wasn't until, years later that I started to be honest with that in myself. And you can tell now with the music I make how it does make a listener sit and contemplate and pull different emotions out of people. And that's been an important thing that I think growing up in the family that I did and the way I did has kind of pushed my music in that way. So I'm truly thankful for that, I guess, learning that along the way. But I think the most important thing for me, though, is, that life, though my life kind of began in a very harsh and sad way, one of the most beautiful things that we all have are the choices along the journey. And I know we call them sometimes bad choices, but I suppose some choices just lead you a longer way to where you're supposed to be. And I felt that a lot in my life, and the choices that maybe were not linear still led me to becoming this person as Monrovia. But always remember that. I think the choices that you have, that's something that I leave with you. But anyway, yeah.
Absolutely. Um, so you are kicking off the venue that you're playing at next week in Memphis. Y'all are playing the first show ever at this new venue, which
But I
is,
heard. It's
yes.
crazy. I'm excited about that.
It's huge
Yeah,
for
it sounds really cool.
Memphis. So many people are so stoked about this show. Uh, how are you feeling about this tour?
I'm excited about it. Listen to Alabama Shakes a lot when definitely when I was in college and stuff. And yeah, I'm very excited to be in. They're incredible musicians. Learn from them along the way. But also it's cool to set the scene. And hopefully bring in people into a night that is joyous and thought-provoking and helps them carry on through this time. It's really
Yeah,
important to me.
for
So
sure.
looking
So
forward to it.
can you tell me more about the Monrovia live experience?
It's interesting because we're opening, so I guess in a quick bit, I'll it's I would say it's very conversational. I'm kind of someone that tells kind of little anecdotes between songs and things. I mean, this version probably a lot quicker since it is an opening set, but I try to connect the listener to the songs, let them know what the song's about, and have those emotions that we all feel and know together. Be portrayed as I sing, and that's really what bring people into the space, into the safety of where we are. So that it's very it's kind of a moving set. The end ends in joy, the beginnings maybe a little bit more brooding, but when you leave, I'm sure you'll be lifted, and that's really important to us.
Yeah, amazing. Have you played Memphis before? I know you're just down the road in Chattanooga.
No, never played
Have
Memphis.
you been?
I don't know what that. I've been to Memphis, but just been. I've never
Yeah.
really. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's somewhere I sojourned to a lot, but a lot of history there, a lot of culture. So it'd be cool for the band and I to be present in that space.
Totally. Is there anything you're trying to get into while you're here?
I don't even know if I'll have time.
That's, yeah,
That's the thing about tour, the things about tours. It's just you're always like in and out and it's just lame. I hate that part. It'd be cool to see more of the city, eat at some cool spots. I know there's good food up there in Memphis too.
yeah,
But we'll see how time lends. But hopefully we get a little bit of time to do something.
yeah, totally. Well, we are beyond excited to have you in Memphis next week. And thank you so much for sharing your time with me today.
Live, absolute pleasure. I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. You're tuned in to WYXR, and this is Monrovia. We're going to hear one more track. Don't go anywhere. It's 91.7 FM Memphis. And
Baby, I've been working some things off, trying to get right for myself, not anybody. Thinking about days gone by, running near Stillwater Creek, chasing huckleberries. Wish I was yours, but the sun been bearing badly, trying to carry on. Still got miles to go, don't go forgetting on me. Don't go forgetting on me. Baby, I've been working some things off, trying to get right for myself, not anybody. Think about days gone by, running near Stillwater Creek, chasing huckleberries. Wish I was yours, but the sun been bearing badly, trying to carry on. Still got miles to go, don't go forgetting on me. Don't go forgetting on me. Honey, leave the light on, shining for the ride home. Put a little tea on the kettle and I pedal to the metal till I'm right home. been working some things off, trying to get right for myself. Not anybody thinking about